Alright guys, the drama between King Harris and the family of 50 Cent is still going on, and it does not look like it is ending anytime soon. New footage connected to King Harris and a car crash is now circulating, and people are saying it changes everything. But before we get into all of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel because this story gets even crazier once you see what is really going on. New clips circulating online have tried to connect King Harris to a fatal car crash, but when you actually examine the situation, the story appears far more complicated and far less dramatic than the viral headlines suggest. King Harris, the son of Atlanta rap icon T.I. and singer Tiny Harris, has spent years in the public eye, and his name is repeatedly surfaced in stories involving cars, police encounters, and controversy. Because of that history, when social media posts suddenly claimed that new footage linked him to a deadly crash, people reacted instantly, sharing the story across TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook before anyone bothered to verify the facts. King, whose full name is Clifford Joseph King Harris III, was born on August 25, 2004, and grew up surrounded by cameras, music, and reality television. As part of the well-known Harris family, he appeared in several television projects while slowly building his own identity as a rapper, releasing independent music under the name Kidden in the early 2020s. When posts began appearing online claiming he had been involved in a fatal crash and was hospitalized after a violent incident, the internet immediately reacted because the name attached to the rumor was already recognizable. The idea that the son of T.I. could be connected to something that serious created instant panic and speculation. In September 2025, users scrolling through social platforms were hit with alarming claims suggesting King had been hospitalized in Atlanta after a violent event. Some posts insisted he was in critical condition, while others claimed there was video showing a crash that nearly killed him. Even more extreme versions of the rumor said he had been attacked while in jail and later required emergency brain surgery. Some posts went even further, claiming masked individuals tampered with his life support after he was admitted to Grady Memorial Hospital, while others insisted he was in a coma and that his final words had somehow gone viral. The problem with all of these claims was simple. None of them came with credible evidence. The more closely people looked at the sources spreading the story, the more questionable they appeared. None of the viral posts included real photographs, confirmed footage, police statements, hospital reports, or family confirmation. Instead, the story was being pushed mostly by social media pages known for sensational content designed purely to attract clicks. One TikTok account posted a dramatic collage of images with an artificial voiceover presenting the claims as if they were breaking news, but there was still no real reporting behind it. When every version of a story comes from anonymous social media pages and none of them provide a verifiable source, that alone should raise serious doubt. Yet the internet rarely pauses long enough to question a viral narrative, especially when a recognizable name is involved. In this case, King Harris already had a reputation that made the rumors believable. His past run-ins with the law, particularly involving vehicles, created an environment where many people assumed the worst without investigating further. Adding to the skepticism, King himself had posted content on Instagram only days before the rumors began circulating. Someone supposedly lying in a hospital coma would not be uploading social media stories, yet that detail was ignored in most viral videos. The absence of coverage from reputable media outlets combined with the lack of confirmation from his family strongly suggested the story was false. But the reason the rumor spread so quickly becomes clearer when you examine King's documented history, particularly his legal issues related to driving. In August 2022, he was charged with speeding, knowingly operating a vehicle on a suspended license, and driving under the influence of drugs. Those charges came before he even turned 18, and they immediately placed his name in the headlines again. When a person accumulates multiple charges involving reckless driving and substance use, it becomes easier for people to believe future accusations even when they are unverified. That same year, King Harris also went viral after a heated confrontation inside an Atlanta Waffle House, where video showed him arguing aggressively with staff members. The clip spread quickly across social media, with many viewers criticizing his behavior and accusing him of acting entitled. His parents later addressed the situation publicly, acknowledging the challenges of raising a child under constant public scrutiny. The incident added another layer to his growing reputation and fueled public concern about the direction his life might take. Even T.I. himself spoke openly about the situation, admitting he recognized the same reckless energy in his son that once defined his own younger years. Having served time in federal prison and dealt with serious legal consequences earlier in his career, he warned publicly that continuing down the same path could eventually lead to prison. His message was blunt. He had already disciplined his son throughout childhood, but ultimately, the choices ahead belonged to King alone. By the end of 2022, King Harris was dealing with a suspended license, a DUI charge, a developing bench warrant, and widespread criticism online. Then, in November 2023, tensions within the family became public during a live-stream argument that erupted while they attended an Atlanta Falcons game. During the exchange, King claimed he had not grown up with the level of luxury people assumed, saying he had spent much of his childhood with his grandmother rather than enjoying the privileges associated with his father's fame. Both of his parents strongly disputed that claim in real time, and the argument highlighted deeper family tensions about identity, responsibility, and expectations. The conflict revealed a young man trying to prove his independence, while his parents attempted to steer him away from mistakes they had already experienced themselves. Those issues resurfaced again in October 2024, when police in Dunwoody, Georgia, pulled King over after he nearly collided with a patrol vehicle while leaving a gas station. According to the incident report, officers detected the smell of marijuana coming from the car and discovered he was carrying a firearm on his hip. He cooperated with the officers, but once they ran his identification, they discovered the outstanding bench warrant connected to his earlier driving charges. The entire traffic stop and arrest were recorded on police body camera footage, which later surfaced online through a YouTube channel that publishes law enforcement videos. The footage shows King calmly stepping out of the vehicle, being searched, and eventually placed in handcuffs before being transported to jail. Two passengers who were also in the car were questioned, and small bags containing marijuana were reportedly discovered inside the vehicle. The arrest happened only days after he celebrated the upcoming birth of his first child, making the contrast in his life particularly striking. Within weeks, he welcomed a baby boy with his partner and even released a song dedicated to his son, reflecting on the responsibility of fatherhood. The coexistence of those two moments, an arrest and the birth of a child, created a narrative of conflict between personal growth and recurring legal trouble. That body camera footage later became the raw material used by social media pages attempting to fabricate the fatal crash story. The video itself is authentic, but the context attached to it was completely misleading. Clips from the routine traffic stop were edited together with dramatic music, AI voiceovers, and sensational captions implying that they showed the aftermath of a deadly crash. In reality, the footage documents nothing more than a traffic stop that resulted in an arrest on outstanding warrants. While dealing with those legal issues, King also became involved in another major controversy during 2026 when he stepped into a public feud between his father and rap mogul 50 Cent. The conflict began when T.I. criticized 50 for declining a proposed versus battle between them. Tensions escalated further after 50 posted a mocking image of Tiny Harris on social media, prompting King to respond aggressively in defense of his mother. The exchange quickly spiraled as King posted personal attacks referencing 50's late mother and released diss tracks aimed directly at the veteran rapper. Although his father supported his son's desire to defend the family, he later admitted publicly that certain actions, particularly referencing the deceased, crossed a line. For many observers, the feud reinforced the image of a young man willing to escalate conflicts without fully considering the consequences. All of that attention kept King's name trending online, which made him an easy target for misinformation campaigns seeking viral traction. In the end, the truth behind the fatal crash rumor is straightforward. There is no verified footage showing King Harris involved in a deadly accident. The only confirmed video circulating online is the police body camera recording from his 2024 traffic stop and arrest. Social media creators simply repurposed real footage and built a fictional narrative around it because the existing record of controversies made the story sound believable. The real story of King Harris is not defined by one viral headline, but by a pattern of events, a young artist navigating fame, legal trouble, family expectations, and the pressure of growing up under the shadow of a legendary father. Whether he continues repeating those patterns or manages to break them remains the question that will ultimately shape his future rather than any fabricated rumor about a crash that never happened.